Oh, welcome to Tyler's Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Today is February 19, 2026. I got the burp for some reason. I need to stop drinking pop, I guess. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about AEW. We did not get anything new for 2K26 today. We got some entrances from for Oba Femi, Lash Legend, and Kalani Jordan. She wasn't confirmed to be in the game yet. Now she's confirmed. And I believe Sandman is supposed to be confirmed as well because they had like a little video package of who has the best entrance. And Paul Heyman says, if it wasn't me or the Vision, he will choose the Sandman. So I'm guessing the Sandman's in the game as well. That's cool that he's still in the game. I believe he was 2K24's DLC. I think so. Was he in 2K24's? I think so. It was the ECW pack. And CM Punk was in that one. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to happen. We still don't know anything about the what if matches or if there's more of these dream matches for the showcase. People are saying there's they found out some My Rise, but 2K did not really mention anything yet. I think that's going to happen next week. Because I believe it's every week that they're going to bring up some things. There's some things that they didn't bring up yet. They didn't talk about My Rise. They didn't talk about My Faction or the Island. I think they're going to wait. We still have like 2 weeks left until the game comes out for March 6th. And we have 3 weeks left for March 13th. So I think they're going to wait until that, and then I'm hoping. I did read a comment off Reddit saying that we should get the roster reveal because last year it was like somewhere in February 19th, and they did say that the rating reveal was a special event by itself, a separate event. With the roster reveal. The roster reveal was first, and then you got the ratings. So, maybe we will get the full roster reveal soon, because why would they tell us more? We have like 203, or if Kalani Jordan and Sandman, that's 205 already confirmed, because of the trailers and all the stuff that they showed us. We already have 205 people already in the game that we know is confirmed in the game, but it sounds like you're telling us everybody that's in the game. So I think they should give us the roster reveal soon because we have already almost the whole confirmed roster in the game already. I know they said 400 plus people, but still. But ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about AEW because we got some Revolution matches that got made for Revolution. Jon Moxley issued a challenge to Takeshita after his match. He had a match against Mark Davis. I would tell you guys more about that match, but he did challenge Takeshita at Revolution for the Continental title, but there is no time limit, y'all. No time limit. Ladies and gentlemen, this was really interesting. Somebody passed away. I'm sorry, I don't remember who they said. I thought it was Irwin. Did somebody pass away? Who passed away? But it's somebody that Bryan Danielson, I guess, his mentor. But he did mention WWE. He actually mentioned WWE. I don't think, was he allowed to do that? I think he said before his WWE deal, he said something about that, like that, and that was interesting that he said something about WWE. I know sometimes AEW say WWE, but I never knew Bryan Danielson will blur out WWE. Because we heard MJF say a couple of times, a whole bunch of AEW trying to trash talk WWE guys, and they say that you're a failure in the WWE and stuff like that. So yeah, that was weird. It was weird. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at Revolution, FTR has something to say. They won't shut up. Everybody complains. Even the fans was telling them to shut the F up. I don't know if I'm going to get a strike on that from YouTube. I didn't say the word. shut the app up, and yeah, I wanted him to do that too. And then Stokely had something to say, and then he was talking trash about the Young Bucks, their families, their wives, their kids, everything they have to talk crap about. And then, ladies and gentlemen, the Young Bucks came out while Stokely was talking, and then they super kicked the FTR, and then Stokely he knew that there's something wrong. So he turned around and he tried to be Mr. Nice Guy now, trying to be playful with the Young Bucks. But the Young Bucks super kick Stokely out of his wheelchair, and they says, how about we have our tag team title match at Revolution? So that's what's happening at Revolution. Ladies and gentlemen, we have face-to-face between Hangman Adam Page and MJF. And there was a lot of trash talking. I didn't know what they said. They said a whole bunch of things. But there was a lot of trash talking. But Hangman Adam Page told MJF. Because MJF doesn't want a normal match. He doesn't want a normal wrestling match. He wants to hurt Hangman. Hangman wants to hurt MJF. So Hangman Adam Page says, if you agreed with me, he will do this. He says he will never ever wrestle for the AEW World Title again. I don't know if MJF is still the World Champion, but at Revolution. But he says that he wants a Texas death match. And then when he walked away, he figured out what the hell did he just say. I'm not going to go for the world title again. Did he say ever again, or only if MJF is the champion? I think I looked that up. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that part one bit. I didn't hear that part. We're going to go to their pay-per-views, list of pay-per-views. Revolution, baby. So it says if Page loses, he would never be able to challenge for the World Championship ever again. So they're going to do the same thing that they did with Cody Rhodes. Remember when Cody Rhodes says he would never wrestle for the World Championship and he lost, and then he can't go for the World title, so they give him a really bad-looking TNT title, the red and silver. It looked like a trash can lid. I'm sorry, but the TNT title looks better now, except it has a pink strap now, because Kyle Fletcher's holding it. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I guess they're doing the same thing with what they did with Cody Rhodes, but the question is, will Hangman lose the match and not get a shot of the world title ever again? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we had a return. Thunder Rosa is back. I guess she's teaming up with Chris Stanlander to verse Ticola and her friends. And Miss Chris Stanlander wants to fight her again, because she wants her title back. And Ishii made his return to team up with Orange Cassidy. My nose is itchy. Versus Clark Connors and Gabe Kidd. 2 returns. Crazy. And we got a heel turn. Ladies and gentlemen, first match of the evening, we had Jon Moxley versus Mark Davis in the Continental Eliminator match. Ladies and gentlemen, and the winner of that match was Jon Moxley. It was a pretty decent match. Mark Davis is a monster. But he got the win. Jon Moxley gets the win, and he was still angry. And he just walked out. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a fatal 4-way match for the TBS title. Willa Nightingale versus Megan Bayne versus Mina versus Shafar for the TBS title. We didn't see that Lena Cross lady. But we did saw Ford in the corner of Megan Bayne, but we never see the Cross lady. That happened on Australia in Grand Slam. But it was a pretty decent fatal 4-way match. But the winner of that match, and still the champion, after she did a roll-up on Mina, Willa Nightingale retains the championship. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we have Orange Cassidy and Ishii versus Gabe Kidd and Mr. Clark Connors. It was a pretty okay match. I guess Ishii got injured. I don't know how, but he got injured. I don't know what was happening. I was hearing a commentary saying he was injured, but yeah. Darby Allin got involved and kidnapped Gabe Kidd again, and the winner of that match was Orange Cassidy and Ishii. Ladies and gentlemen, and I don't know how you could call Ishii's finisher a brainbuster. It doesn't look like a brainbuster. You're not even hitting the head. It looks like a suplex. I'm sorry to say it, but they're a thing. When they say that's a brainbuster, I don't see a brainbuster. I see a suplex from a big man. I don't know. I don't see a brainbuster. But Orange Cassidy and Ishii gets the win. We have Jimmy Hater and Alex Windsor, Brawling Brutes. I think that's their tag team name. They're making their TV debut as a tag team to versus two jobbers. And the winner of that match was Jimmy Hater and Alex Windsor. Cool, you can beat two jobbers. How you get a tag team title shots if you beat two jobbers? Next, we have Kevin Knight versus Pete Mortis. I thought it was a pretty decent match. I like Pete Mortis. When he was part of TNA, when he's part of AEW, he's good in the ring. I love the guy. I love when he was in Decay with Crazy Steve. I wonder where Crazy Steve is. I love Crazy Steve. Man, he was good in the ring. I liked him. Too bad he didn't win any major titles. He won the digital media title, but I wish he won major titles. He did win the tag team titles in TNA. Those are major titles. But I was hoping that he win like an X Division championship. That was I was hoping. I wish he was still there and then he could win the international title. But he's not. I don't know where Crazy Steve is. I haven't seen him wrestled on WWE or AEW. Like mostly every single former TNA or former WWE guy wrestles on AEW. Hey, you know what's weird? Tommaso Ciampa did not been shown on Australia or on Dynamite since he lost that title. Yeah, he's getting used really well. At least Johnny Gargano is on TV. Yeah, he is upset and he's laying down, depressed, and Candice does not know what to do. But at least he's getting TV time. Like, hello, Tommaso Ciampa's not even getting TV time. Hello? Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of that match was Kevin Knight, and the man looks like they want the trios titles. I don't understand why in the world you give the trios titles to Hangman. If all you guys care about for Hangman is the world title, why is he holding the trios title? The title, ever since they won the titles against the Ops, they haven't defended them. And that's what the demand says. You haven't defended the titles because Hangman only cared about the world title. Why is he the trios champion? I don't understand that. Why couldn't you put another person with Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight that's not worried about the world title and give him the trios title? I understand they want to get rid of the trios titles off of Powerhouse Hobbs because he's coming to WWE. It was a tape show, and he's coming to WWE. That's why he lost it. If he stayed in AEW, I think he will keep it longer. But because he was leaving, his contract expired, and he's heading to WWE, he has to lose the title. What's the point of having him not have the belt? Yeah, now we don't see the Ops anymore because Samoa Joe is injured, so, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, main event. I thought it was a pretty decent main event. Swerve Strickland versus Kenny Omega. These guys destroy each other. Frickin' Kenny Omega kick Audrey Edwards' head off with a V-trigger. Oh my god. I was doing something. I was busy doing something, and then I just heard a smack. And then the commentary saying that somebody got their head almost knocked off. And I look at my TV, it was Audrey Edwards. I'm like, what in the world happened? She looks down. Really bad down. But ladies and gentlemen, and then Swerve Strickland was doing a lot of these heel things, like taking the pad off the turnbuckle and smacking Kenny Omega's face on it and all that stuff. And he thought he had to win, but no, Kenny Omega tried to beat Mr. Superhero, Super Kenny. But no, the winner of that match was Swerve Strickland. But after the match, Swerve Strickland attacked Kenny Omega, and then he hung him with a chain over the ropes to choke him out. I don't know what else to say about that. I don't know if I'm going to get any. Am I going to get in trouble for that? I don't know. Talking about hanging. Ladies and gentlemen, I thought it was a pretty decent AEW. Sometimes I don't get really excited to watch AEW because there's no stories. Like, seriously, where's the stories? The only story you really have is freaking Hangman Adam Page and MJF. Every other story doesn't make any sense. It doesn't really make any sense. Jack Perry and Ricochet. I thought that was over because Jack Perry had like 2 title matches. And he lost both of them. Why does he keep getting another shot at the championship? I don't understand the whole logic here. This is why I don't really like AEW very much, because their storylines is not being the best. The only best storyline they have is the world title, and that's always the whole story. And it was because of Hangman, because of that world title. Other titles, the TNT title, we haven't seen Kyle Fletcher. We haven't seen the women's tag team champions in action. We saw one half. But we haven't seen the other champions. Even Okada's holding a title. And he's not defending the dang title. He says, I came to work because I'm a champion. Not like Takashita because he's celebrating with his girlfriend with Kyle Fletcher. But you came to work to just talk. That's all you did. So what's the point of having you have a belt? This is why when he was a unified champion, it should be all the titles getting defended. Not just a unified belt. If you want to make a unified belt, get rid of the international and the continental, and the unified belt is the only belt that could be undefended. It was stupid that if he loses the Continental Championship, he loses the unified belt as well, and he keeps the International Championship. How is that unified? At least in WWE, when they did the unified tag team titles, all 4 of the titles were on the line. Not just one belt, both belts. All 4. I know they didn't do that with the women's belt with Becky Lynch holding the Raw and the SmackDown, but she didn't hold the title so long. And they didn't call it the unified belts. When they did the unification for the WWE title and the WCW World Heavyweight title, whoever wins those titles, they're defending both titles. Chris Jericho, when he was the double champion, he was defending both titles. And when they unified them and bring the undisputed WWE title, there was only one belt. Until they went to have the draft and had Raw and SmackDown separate, and then they had their own world title. At least WWE knows what they're doing with their belts. Because AEW does not know what they're doing with their belts. There's like hundreds of belts. I know there's no hundreds, but there's so many belts that people are trying to fight for. It's really annoying. But if you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button, leave a comment below, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I will see you guys tomorrow for TNA results. Bye!